So lesson 3 is all about net pay. This is what we actually get on our paycheck. Gross pay is what we earn, but we lose money to different things. A couple key things: taxes. Taxes is usually the biggest one. Maybe not for students, but once you start working full-time. CPP, Canada Pension Plan. This is when you retire. So while you're working, you always put money into the pension plan, specifically 5.9% of what you earn. And when you retire, usually at 60 or 65, you start receiving that money back from the government. EI stands for employment insurance. This is 1.64% of your earnings in 2025. And basically, if you're laid off from your job or you're fired, the government will kick in some money for a limited period, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, and they will give you part of your earnings while you look for a new job. Once you get a new job, then this will stop. So it's only for kind of people who are working full-time and looking for work. So the key thing about net pay is we're taking our gross pay and subtracting deductions. And you can only do that if both of them have dollar signs with them. That's important. So let's take the first one. Trin makes $34.50 in gross pay. She has deductions of $30, $75, and $20. So we're just going to subtract all three. One thing you could do is add these three and then subtract the total. It doesn't matter which way you do it. So Trin, their net pay is $3,325. There we go. So net pay is just taking what you earn and subtracting anything that's taken off, deductions. Now the tricky part is when we get into percents. Taxes, CPP, EI are all percents. So Gary makes $14.70, 16% income tax. So we're going to take 16% of $14.70. We're going to take 5.95% of, we always use the same number, the gross pay every time. And $30 for medical. I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm going to calculate these two. Now, when we do divide by 100 and multiply, the answers are in dollar signs. Going back to the top, I said you can only subtract dollar signs from dollar signs. That's why we did this work. So we're going to take this 1470, we're going to subtract these two, and this one was already had a dollar sign, so I'm just going to plunk it down on below. We don't have to do a calculation with this one because it's already in dollars. So I'm going to do this one, minus, minus, minus. I could add these together first and then subtract, but both ways work. So subtracting, starting 1470 minus these numbers, and I get my net pay. Gross pay is what we earn, net pay is what we finish with. Kind of think it like a tennis game. And you start with this, you hit it through the net, and you finish with this. The net takes some of your money away. So if there's only dollar signs, we just subtract everything. If there's percents, we have to do the extra calculations first and then subtract all the deductions. So pause the video, try the other three, and see how you do. Then check your answer. So gross pay is $3,400. I have 28% tax. That's the first one. I've got 30 union dues, and they also say CPP and EI. So I go back here, find the percents, calculate them, and once I've done all the calculations, I subtract 3,400 minus all of these. So D, 3850, do all the calculations, divide by 100, multiply, and you should get these three numbers, subtract them all. That's your net pay. So this last one, gross pay is 2,400. Calculate each percent, turn them all into dollar amounts. And once they're the same, they're dollars, we can subtract and get our net pay. Every time the same thing. If there's any with dollar signs, we don't do the extra calculation, we just subtract. If there's a percent, divide by 100, multiply the gross pay.